Hare Jaya. Gopi Jana Vallabha Giridharadhari Jaya. Yasodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana. Yasodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana. Yamuna Tira Vanachariyam. Yamuna Tira Vanachariyam. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Giridharadhari Jaya. Gopi Jana Vallabha Giridharadhari Jaya. Yasodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana. Yasodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana. Yamuna Tira Vanachariyam. Yamuna Tira Vanachariyam. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya. Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada. Nitya Go Hari Go Hari Go Hari Go Nitya Go Hari Go Jago. Nitya Go Hari Go Hari Go Hari Go Nitya Go Hari Go. Jaya Vishnupada Paramahansa Parivrajyakracharya Sutta Srimad A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Isvara Prabhu Ki Jaya Vishnupada Paramahansa Parivrajyakracharya Sutta Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhu Ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki East Confounder Acharya Isvara Prabhu Ki Namacharya Silaridas Thakur Ki Parām Sikausi Kṛṣṇa Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gopatravrinda Ki Sri Radha Kṛṣṇa Gopa Gopinath Shamakunda Radha Kundi Giri Govardhana Ki Vrindavan Dham Ki Mayapur Dham Ki Dwarka Dham Ki Jagannath Dham Ki Ganga Maya Ki Yamuna Maya Ki Tulsi Devi Ki Bhakti Devi Ki Sri Krishna Balaram Ki Sri Shada Shamasunda Ki Sri Shantai Gurachanda Ki Nitai Gopi Manandi. All glory to the assembled devotee. All glory to the assembled devotees. All glory to the assembled devotees. All glories to the lotus feet of Sri Guru Gauranga. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Amagana Trimandasya Gana Gana Salakaya Chaksu Sumilitan Yena Tasma Shri Gurave Namah Sri Chaitanya Manobishtan Stapita Yena Bhutali Sayarupa Kadamanya Dadati Swapadantikam Vandiham Sri Guru Sritam Patakamalan Sri Guru Vaishnavascha Sri Rupam Sakajata Sahagana Raghunatha Vitanta Sajivan Sadhuitan, Savadhuitan, Parajana Satan, Sri Kṛṣṇa Chachadevan. Sri Radha Kṛṣṇa Padasahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhavitamscha. He Kṛṣṇa Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesa Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastate. Tapta Kanchana Gorange Radha Vrindabaneswari Visabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hare Pre. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Nama Vasudeva Sutan Devan Kansa Chanura Madanan Devaki Paramananda Krishna Bandi Jagaguru Namamo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pistaya Bhutale Shrimati Bhakti Vedanta Swamiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nibisesa Sunyavadi Paschachati Satarine Vanchakapatarubhyascha Kripasvindivacha Patitanam Pavanavebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Pimapadayate Krishna Ya Krishna Chaitanya Namini Goroshi Tusi Namah Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gaura Bhakta Hare Kṛṣṇa, Hare Kṛṣṇa, Kṛṣṇa Kṛṣṇa, Hare Hare, Hare Rāma, Hare Rāma, Rāma Rāma, Hare Hare. Harendalila Maya Vigraha, Mebada Vichavisundara, Tasma Maha, Premarasa Padaya, Chaitanya Chandra Namana Manustate, Chaitanya Chandra Namana Manustate. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So I thank everyone for being here this evening for our Bhagavad Gita class. So the Bhagavad Gita is the supreme word of Lord Krishna, giving us very, very important teaching on how to perfect our life by listening to these instructions, by acting upon them. Then we can be free from the bondage of material existence and being situated in the service of the Lord. Then we can go back to the spiritual world, back home, go home. So, Lord Krishna has been instructing Arjuna about the transcendental knowledge. So, this chapter 4 of the Bhagavad Gita is called Gyan Yoga, knowledge. And this knowledge, because such an important knowledge, so Lord Krishna says that in order to really understand what is this knowledge, then one must approach a spiritual master. Tavidi pranipate paripatena pariprashnena sevaya upadesatita jnana gananatadasdasina. So this Lord Krishna is saying that yes, one must make an inquiry from a bona fide guru, from a spiritual master, a Sadguru. One should make pranam to him, pranipatena, which means with humble offering, with humble submission, that one must approach a guru, make pranam, obeisances, and then with serving attitude, then one should make inquiry. Pariprashna. Prashna means to make inquiry. Then inquiry about what? About who am I, what is knowledge, and what is my relationship with the Supreme. So Lord Krishna is telling Arjuna this one. So today, we are at text number 39. This is the continuation of this discussion, the continuation of the approach to the Guru. So Lord Krishna wants to talk about the faith. So, okay, you can repeat after me. Śraddhā-vān labhate jñānaṁ tat-paraḥ saṁyatendriyaḥ jñānam labdhvā parāṁ śāntim acireṇādhigacchati śraddhā-vān labhate jñānam tat-paraḥ saṁyatendriyaḥ labdhvā parāṁ śāntim acireṇādhigacchati śraddhā-vāḻ labhate jñānam tat-paraḥ saṁyatendriyaḥ labdhvā parāṁ śāntim acireṇādhigacchati. Labhate jñānam acireṇādhigacchati. Śraddhā-vān, a faithful man also can be faithful woman. So we are not man or woman, a faithful person. I don't know why they put a faithful man there. Śraddhā-vān means somebody who attains. Just like we say Buddhiman. Buddhiman means a wise person, a wise man. So śraddhā-vān means a faithful person. Labhate achieves jñānaṁ, knowledge. Tat-paraḥ, very much attached to it. Saṁyata, controlled. Indriyaḥ, senses. Jñānam, knowledge. Labdhvā, having achieved. Parāṁ, transcendental. Śāntim, peace. Acireṇa, very soon. Adhigacchati, attains. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace is Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki. A faithful man who is dedicated to transcendental knowledge and who subdues his senses is eligible to achieve such knowledge. And having achieved it, he quickly attains the supreme spiritual peace. Purport. Such knowledge in Kṛṣṇa consciousness can be achieved by a faithful person who believes firmly in Kṛṣṇa. One is called a faithful man who thinks that simply by acting in Kṛṣṇa consciousness, he can attain the highest perfection. This faith is attained by the discharge of devotional service and by chanting Hare Kṛṣṇa, Hare Kṛṣṇa, Kṛṣṇa Kṛṣṇa, Hare Hare, Hare Rāma, Hare Rāma, Rāma Rāma, Hare Hare, which cleanses one's heart of all material dirt. Over and above that, one should control the senses. A person who is faithful to Kṛṣṇa and who controls his senses can easily attain perfection in the knowledge of Kṛṣṇa consciousness without delay. Acireṇādhigacchati, which means very soon attains this knowledge. So the laws, śraddhā-vān, labhate jñānaṁ, tat-paraḥ, saṁyatendriyaḥ, jñānaṁ, labdhvā, parām, śraddhā-vān, acireṇādhigacchati. So a faithful man who is dedicated to transcendental knowledge and who subdues his senses is eligible to achieve such knowledge. And having achieved, he quickly attains the supreme peace, spiritual peace, shanti. Even though in this world there's so much talk about peace, but there cannot be peace in the world because everyone is after sense gratification, so there can never be any peace. Mahaprabhu, when he was teaching Santa Goswami, he mentioned that it's a Krishna Bhakta, Niskama Ataiva Shanto, Bhukti Mukti Shedi Kami Shakaliya Shanto. This Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that people want peace in this world, but they cannot get it. We find, just like many conferences have been made to attain peace. But how can there be peace when everyone is simply after their own self-interest? Just like in America, there's the United Nations. They are currently having their yearly meeting. So every country is gathered there. The whole purpose of is to get peace. But everyone is there. They are talking about what is good for their particular interest and how they can crush their enemies. And they want to talk about peace. It's impossible. So the Lord said, Bhukti Mukti Shidikami, the sense enjoyers, the impersonalists, the yogis, there's no peace. No peace. Ashanta means no peace. Why? Because everyone is simply after his own interest. Everyone wants something in life. But Krishna Bhakta needs calm. Krishna devotee don't want anything. What do they want? They simply want satisfaction of Krishna. So Krishna Bhakta needs calm. Well, of course, Krishna devotee, they are performing activities. It's not that they don't perform any activities. After all, in the whole Bhagavad Gita, it's all about performing actions. It's all about performing activities. But the activities which the Lord is talking about in Gita is called niskam karma. Niskam, which means desireless actions. Desireless actions is what the Lord is talking about, desireless. Because after all, as long as the living entities in the material world must be active, must do something. The soul can never be inactive. The soul always has to be active. But the activities must be properly done. The activities must be properly directed. So, for example, when the Lord told Arjuna, because Arjuna was saying that, I cannot do this fighting, it's too much, too difficult. So therefore, I'm going to go to the forest. So Lord Krishna said that, no, if you do that, that's not going to make you happy. You're going to go to the forest. Because the nature of the soul is to be restless. By nature, the soul has to do something. The soul cannot be inactive. Activity must be there. Action must be there. But it must be desireless action. Niskam karma. Desireless action. So therefore, Krishna devotee, they also engage in activities. They are performing actions. But the action is not for their own self. So even though they are engaging in everything, they are doing everything which the whole world is doing, but because they are not seeing they don't see themselves as the enjoyer of the result of the activities. So therefore, they are not really bothered by what comes as a result of the activities. Because the aim is for the satisfaction of Krishna. Because the aim is for the satisfaction of Krishna. So therefore, they are not bothered by the results. And because they are not bothered by the result, Kṛṣṇa Prabhu, the Lord said, they attain peace. Shanti. Bhukti Mukti Shidikami. So the Lord said, Krishna Bhakta, Niskam Ataiva Shanto. Krishna devotees, they are always very peaceful. They are always very peaceful because they do everything only for Krishna's satisfaction. Whereas all others, they cannot be peaceful. So the Lord is saying this here. Now, there are some ingredients which have been mentioned. Because earlier, the Lord says that to attain this transcendental knowledge, that one must approach a spiritual master. One must approach a self-realized guru, a self-realized spiritual master, Tattva-dashi, Jnani and Tattva-dashi, who is in knowledge and who has realized the knowledge. He's a Jnani, he has knowledge, but he also realized the knowledge. So that is Tattva-dashi, the one who's realized the knowledge. And what is that? Realization of knowledge. He knows Krishna. He sees Krishna. He has seen Krishna. That is a Tattva-dashi. Because who is Tattva? The Tattva is, the truth is Krishna, the absolute truth. Krishna Sanyam Bhagavan is the absolute truth. And Dashi means someone who is sane. Somebody who is sane. For example, like Prabhu will say that is able to tell us about Krishna because he's seen Krishna himself. He can tell you who Krishna is. He can tell you about his body, about his beautiful form, about what he likes, and all that. Because he's seen. It's a dashi, he can see. So, Jnani and Tatadashi, Jnani and Tatadashi, which means it's the Tatadashi, the knowledgeable person who is seeing Krishna. He can tell you the truth. He can reveal the knowledge to you. We can see what is the importance of knowledge. The importance of knowledge is because by having knowledge, the knowledge can free us from this material world, can free us from this Bhava Sagar, this ocean, the ocean of birth and death. This knowledge can free us. But the attainment of that knowledge, so it's the requirement of that. First, one approach a guru. Now, there are some requirements, which are needed. Some requirements which are needed. It mentioned that there are three in numbers, three requirements. One is faith, śraddhā-vān, śraddha, the faith, which means the faith must be there. And then there has to be a diligent action, the diligent, which means the seriousness that is involved. Faith, diligent, and then, what is it? It's saṁyatendriyaḥ, the control of the senses. The sense control must be there because if you are too much absorbed in materialistic sense gratification, then it's very much difficult to really imbibe spiritual culture. Because if the sense is always agitating, if the sense is always after, after what can enjoy, so spiritual cultivation is difficult. So therefore, the three things, the faith must be there. One must have faith. Śraddhā. I mentioned that śraddhā, that sadhu sangha, that śraddhā in the beginning, one must have faith. Śraddhā, then sadhu sangha, association with a great devotee. So the faith must be there, because if there is no śraddhā, then one must be cultivating knowledge. You mentioned that many people, they were cultivating knowledge, but they don't have faith in their cultivation. They just, it's just like, for example, there are many schools, there are many universities, whereby people are supposedly teaching Bhagavad Gita, whereby they are teaching Bhagavad Gita, they're teaching the knowledge of the Gita. There are many universities are there. But in those universities, I had place of education whereby people are learning Bhagavad Gita, but it's like basically nothing, because the teacher and the students, both of them have no faith in what they are. It's just some dry knowledge that, this is a great philosophy. It's a great philosophy. So therefore, let us cultivate this philosophy. But there's no faith in the knowledge itself. No, the faith is not there. So because faith is not there, so there's no discipline. There can be no discipline in terms of control of the senses. Control the sense control, mind control, without which how can this not be attained? The whole chapter is all filled up, whereby the Lord is talking about the sacrifices of the senses. It's the various sacrifices by which one has to do. The sacrifice of in terms of the breathing process, the action, the fire. The Lord talks about different sacrifices throughout this whole chapter. The sacrifice, it pertains to the discipline which is there, the discipline which is there. And this discipline are meant to give, to enable one to have control over the senses. So when there is self-control, then the cultivation, it becomes much more possible. The cultivation of a spiritual culture. So the Lord is saying here that yes, the faith must be there, and then this the adherence, in terms of the following a particular instructor, the following a guru who has seen the truth, to follow the footsteps, whatever it has been been taught by the self-realized guru. And then with the combination of that and the control of the senses, then mention here that the one become very peaceful. One become very, very peaceful, and in a very, I mention without delay because it mentioned without delay. Acireṇādhigacchati. One attains quickly. One attains quickly the peace. One attains the peace simply means becoming very situated in Kṛṣṇa consciousness. That's what peace means. Peace doesn't mean just some mundane peace, so-called peace. When one actually becomes situated in Kṛṣṇa consciousness, then that is the real peace. When one becomes situated in Kṛṣṇa consciousness, so that's what is being mentioned here. That yes, you have faith. So talking about faith when Mahaprabhu he was teaching Sanatana Goswami, he was talking about the importance of faith, the very, very importance. He says, śraddhā-vān vishwa kohe siddhā nischay, Kṛṣṇa bhakti koile sabha karma krita hai. So the Lord is saying this, that the śraddhā, faith, is very, very important. Faith is very, very confident. Whatever we are doing, we have to have faith in it. As we are hearing, it mentioned that yes, by chanting the Hare Kṛṣṇa mantra, you will attain the highest perfection of life. That all you need is simply this chanting. But if you don't have faith in it, you think that maybe there is something else, maybe there's a better process. So therefore, if you have no faith in it, then what can you gain? So the faith must be there. So Mahaprabhu said, śraddhā-vān vishwa kohe siddhā nischay, Kṛṣṇa bhakti koile sabha karma krita hai. Śraddhā is confident. Firm faith, śraddhā. By rendering transcendental loving service to Kṛṣṇa, one automatically performs all subsidiary activities. Such faith is favorable to the discharge of devotional service. Just like one time, I think the great Ramanujacharya, when he approached his spiritual master one time his spiritual master gave him a mantra. He gave him a mantra that you take this mantra, and this mantra, you chant it, you will be liberated. You chant this mantra, you will attain liberation. So he had full faith in what the Guru says. He had full faith. He said, oh, now the Guru also told him that, but because this matter is a secret, it's very confidential, don't tell anybody. Because it's very secret. It's a confidential. So do not tell anybody. Don't reveal it to anyone. It's a confidential mantra. And when he asked that, why is he so confidential? Because the Guru said, because by this mantra, you'll be liberated by this. So the next day, what he did was that he went to a marketplace and started making a big announcement that everyone come and chant this mantra. Because if you chant this mantra, you will attain liberation. So he was giving out the mantra. He was giving out the mantra to everyone. That everyone take this mantra and chant it. So when the Guru came to know that he was propagating, giving people this mantra which he had been given, it's supposed to be a sacred mantra. So, which is basically when Guru tells you something, you have to follow the order of the Guru when the Guru says something. But in this case, the Guru said, don't tell anybody, but he violated the order of the Guru. So, when the Guru asked him that, why have you disobeyed my order? Why have you disobeyed me? So he replied that, well, I understood that I have disobeyed you by giving out this mantra to people, because you are giving me a mantra that's going to liberate me from this material world. So therefore, yes, by disobeying you, I'm going to suffer for it, and I'm ready to suffer for it, but at least people would be liberated. People will get liberation because you have said that this mantra will liberate the people from this material world. So therefore, I want people to be liberated, but by disobeying you, I'm ready to suffer for it. By disobeying you. So in this way, the Guru said, okay, so actually the Guru became happy. He said, oh, you have a big heart. Very, Mahabhaga, very big-hearted. So, so that faith, the faith is there that, oh, through this mantra, one attain this perfection. The perfection is there by chanting, For example, in the Hare Kṛṣṇa movement, Kṛṣṇa consciousness movement, our most important activities is this chanting. This chanting, that's the most important activity. And this chanting has been sung, glorified by many authorities in every scripture is all there. That Hare Rāma, Hare Rāma, Hare Rāma, Kevalam, Kalona, Siva, Nasiva, Nasiva Gacchati. So that this through Hare Rāma, one will attain all perfection. That's only that is required. Nasiva, nothing else. No other way, no other process. And it so happened that because the path of perfection had been made so easy in this age of Kali, which is through the process of chanting, that even the demigods, they want to take birth in this age. Even though Kali Yuga is such a terrible age, it's full of faults, but the demigods, they want to take birth because it's so easy to attain perfection. Because in other ages, so many processes there, like sacrifices, austerities, so many things. Difficult. But in this age of Kali, it's easy. Just chant. You become, everybody attain the highest perfection of life. Just chant the holy name of the Lord. But sometimes when we are preaching, telling people to chant, and then they will say, can't. People say, no, they cannot chant. Chant, can't. Is it? Because they say, oh, so easy, you're only chanting, that's what you have to do. So it's so easy. Chanting, that's not, maybe there's something better than this one. That's what people think. So therefore, the faith is required. The people, when we say, by this chanting, you will attain all perfection. So a faithful person, he takes it very seriously. Say, oh yes, this chanting, okay, I will attain perfection. And when they take it, because they believe in it, so they attain success. So Kṛṣṇa consciousness, so the key the main method of the secret of advancement in Kṛṣṇa consciousness is this śraddhā, this faith. That's the secret of advancement. So which means if a doubtful mind, somebody is always doubting the instruction of the Guru, of the spiritual master, or the instruction of the scriptures, somebody who is always doubting, then such persons will always have a problem in their spiritual life. Such person who is always doubting. They will always have problems in their spiritual life. Whereas those devotees that you will see them doing wonderful things in their spiritual life is because they are very, very faithful. They always hold strong faith. So therefore, Prabhupada is mentioned here. He said, firm faith and confidence are called śraddhā. When one engages in the Lord's devotional service, he is to be understood to have performed all his responsibilities in the material world. He has satisfied his forefathers, ordinary living entities, and demigods, and is freed from all responsibility. Such a person does not need to meet his responsibilities separately. It is automatically done. Fruitive activities, karma, is meant to satisfy the senses of the conditioned soul. However, when one awakens to Kṛṣṇa consciousness, he does not have to work separately for pious activity. The best achievement of all fruitive activities is detachment from material life. And this detachment is spontaneously enjoyed by the devotee firmly engaged in the Lord's service. So this is very, very, the Lord says very, very important, this śraddhā, the firm faith. Because with that deep firm faith, then one engages in the Lord's devotional service. And that's why I mentioned that a practitioner of devotional service must be very, very, must have the mentality of simplicity. The simple in one's daily. One has to be very, because it's only a very simple person is the one who actually have faith. The simplicity must be there, that one has to be very, very simple in one's dealing. One cannot be crooked because two things, that's a crookedness, which is called kapatya, and the charlatan means simplicity. As they say, simplicity is Vaishnavism. The Buddhists are very, very simple in their thought, in their mentality, very, very simple. So therefore, when the Guru says something, when the authority says something, they don't question it. Because they are very, very simple in their dealing, they are very simple. Whereas those who are very, very crooked, those who are very hypocrites, they're very, very, very crooked. No simplicity. So therefore, the faith is not there. The faith is not there. There's one particular story, the detail of the story. There's one particular story. There were two women. There was one young lady and her mother-in-law. They were going in a village. One lady, the mother-in-law obviously is very, his mother, and the young lady. So they were in a village. They were traveling on a path, and as they were traveling on the path, then they came across there's a river which they have to cross. There's a river which they have to cross. Now both of them, they've heard instruction from Guru that if there's any difficulty, just call upon the name of the Lord. just call upon the Lord's name. So now they were crossing the river. Now as they were crossing, all of a sudden, the river became difficult. There was like like a whirlpool. So the kind of a whirlpool. So the young lady, so they were in difficulty. So the young lady started chanting the Lord's name. Chanting. And then she told her mother-in-law that the Guruji said, if there's difficulty, we should simply chant the Lord's name, and then all difficulty will be, we'll be able to overcome difficulties. So the elder lady, she said, oh, who are you to tell me what to do? How can you tell me something? How are you going to tell me? You cannot tell me anything, because she was so, she depended on her own. So you cannot tell me anything. You can't tell me what to do. How can you tell me something? The young lady said that the Guruji said that by simply thinking of the Lord, meditating on the Lord's name, we'll be able to overcome difficulty. But the other lady said, no, you cannot tell me. Who are you? You are young, you are non-intelligent. You cannot tell me what to do. You cannot tell me anything. Anyway, the young lady, she was able to cross the river, able to overcome the problem. But the mother-in-law, who think herself very intelligent, who think herself that she doesn't need to be instructed, so she got caught up in the difficulty. She was, she got caught up, and then she drowned. So, when somebody is very, very simple, they take instruction in a simplistic way. They don't argue against it, and because they don't argue against it, so therefore they don't encounter difficulties. They don't encounter difficulties. So we find when the Lord is telling Arjuna that the śraddha must be there, of course, with the combination of sense control and all that. But of course, when somebody is very, very faithful and faithfully following the instruction of the Guru, or the spiritual master, then they can bring senses under control. Because to bring senses under control, it requires higher acceptance. Because not just by performing yoga or performing all kind of austerities can one bring senses under control. There has to be engagement in the service of the control of the senses, which means the service of Krishna. When there is a higher engagement, then his senses can be brought under control. And then this way, then the perfection can be attained. This perfection of Krishna consciousness can be attained. But the Lord saying, he was saying, for a person who do not have faith in this process, he said, I think the next text, the Lord said, against śraddhā-vān cha saṁyatma vinashyati nayan lokosina paro na sukam sansayatmanaha. So the Lord is saying that, but ignorant and faithless persons who doubt the revealed scriptures do not attain God consciousness. They fall down. For the doubting soul there is happiness, neither in this world nor in the next. So śraddhā means a person who has no faith. They doubt whatever is being told to them. They doubt everything. They have no faith. Śraddhā, somebody who has no faith. No faith in the spiritual instructions from the Guru. No faith in the revealed scriptures. So such a person is said to be a foolish person, a mocker. No faith. So therefore to them, he said there's no happiness, neither in this world nor in the next. No happiness How can they be happy when you're always doubting, you know? So therefore, the secret in spiritual life is to be simple, and that simplicity will lead to the deep faith in the instructions of the spiritual authorities. With the simplicity, faith, then one is able to engage in devotional service. And with that engagement in devotional service, then ultimately one attain the ultimate goal of life, which is to attain the lotus feet of the Lord, to attain the shelter of the Lord by that process. So therefore, we have to have this simplicity that we have to keep in our heart. And whatever we are told, we should have faith in it. And if there's some doubt in what we heard, then we should ask questions. We should ask, if there's some doubt in what we are hearing, then we should ask questions. But the question must not be done in a challenging way. Because if you ask question in a challenging way, then you will not get the right answer. Because if you ask question in a challenging way, no matter what is told to you, no matter what reply you are getting, you will never accept. It will never satisfy you because of that challenging spirit. Because of that challenging spirit. So that's why you can always tell the difference between the devotee who is making advancement and those who are struggling in their spiritual life. Those who are making advancement because they are very simple, they are very, very faithful, they don't doubt, they don't challenge. So therefore their spiritual life is very, very smooth sailing. Whereas those who are very, very challenging, doubting. So there's always difficulty. No matter what you tell them, they will never be happy, they will never be satisfied. So we should always keep this in mind. Simplicity, faithfulness. We should keep this in mind. And with that, and then we remain, even though if we are weak in our spiritual, let's say, in controlling our senses, the weakness is there because of our long association with material energy. So the weakness is there. We find trouble controlling the senses because of the weakness. But if we are simple in our dealings and we are very faithful, then we will get help. The spiritual authority will help us because of our engagement in devotional service. So we will get help. So ultimately, the senses will become controlled. We will eventually be detached from this material, from the desire to enjoy the material senses. We become detached from that. And ultimately, we get to see Krishna, ultimately. So this is just the simple way of explaining of what is being said here in this text. So I just say it again. Śraddhā-vān labhate jñānaṁ tat-paraḥ saṁyatendriyaḥ jñānam labhya parām śāntim acireṇādhigacchati. A faithful person who is dedicated to transcendental knowledge and who subdues his senses is eligible to achieve such knowledge. And having achieved it, he quickly attains the supreme spiritual peace. Spiritual peace, not material peace. You don't get this peace in a conference. We have some big conference, no, don't get it. You get this is a spiritual peace, which satisfies the mind, satisfies the soul. That's what we have to aim for, this spiritual peace. Okay. So is there any question? Points? Yeah, Hare Kṛṣṇa, at the back.
Bhagavan given us for like, we are so much occupied with so many other activities, like even morning programs, so many things are there, even so many activities, of course, preaching and so many services, but even very less time for Hare Rāma actually. Like we cannot sit 2 hours and chant because there is no exactly in morning program 2 hours to sit.
Mm-hmm.
So practically, how to develop such a faith that only Hare Rāma is like, because practically so many other things are there.
Yeah, the Harinam, because everything we'll do is ultimately to bring us to the point of always constantly chanting the Harinam. So, and the Harinam, the holy name, it has no limitation. It's not that we have to. It's not that when we necessarily sit in one place that we are chanting. It's not limited to that. Actually, for example, we are told to chant 24 hours a day. So how do you chant 24 hours a day? The point is that by every activity you are doing, you're always chanting in your mind, Hare Kṛṣṇa, because everything is meant for Krishna. Whatever you are doing, you're always chanting. Okay, there's one particular time when Chaitanya Prabhu, he was because Chaitanya Prabhu taught us that once always non-stop chanting. So one time when Mahaprabhu was he was about to go to relieve himself in the bathroom. And then because his tongue is always chanting, never stop chanting. So he tried to hold his tongue because he said that because I'm going to the bathroom, going to an impure place, I should not be chanting. So therefore, therefore he hold his tongue because the tongue will never stop chanting. He hold his tongue. So when he did that, there was one boy, his name was Gopal. So when he saw Mahaprabhu doing this, then he asked Mahaprabhu that, oh, my dear Lord, why are you doing this? Why are you holding your tongue? So the Lord said that because I'm going to relieve myself, and I don't want to, because the tongue will never stop chanting. So therefore I want to hold my tongue so that I don't want to vibrate the tongue, the name in an impure place. So Gopal replied that, my Lord, you have taught us that yes, we want to chant non-stop. And if you stop chanting and something happened to us, that's not good. So what will happen? So therefore, it doesn't really matter if whatever activity you are doing, pure place or impure place, the arena has no limit. So actually, Mahaprabhu actually said, oh, my dear boy, what you have said is correct, so therefore, I call you Guru. So therefore, we have this great Vaishnava called Gopal Guru Goswami, who became one of the great Vaishnavas. So it's not every activity we are doing, we always have to be chanting in our mind. Or just like the Brajbhā says, when they are preparing something for Krishna, they always chant, they always sing in Krishna's name. When Mother Yashoda, when she's preparing butter for Krishna, she's doing something, she's always singing, Govinda Damo, Dharama Daveti. She's always singing, Govinda Damo, Dharama Daveti. All the Vijayabhasa, whatever they are doing, they're taking constantly for it. They always chanting, Govinda Damo, Dharama Daveti, all Krishna, Govinda Damodara, Madhava, always chanting, never stop chanting all the activities. So this is 24 hours chanting. So you never, whatever you're doing, you always, sing in Krishna's name. Don't sing some Bollywood song. Chant Krishna's name, whatever you are doing. That is 24 hours chanting, always chanting. Okay. Is that helpful? Okay. So we never stop chanting. That's it. Whatever we are doing, we always chanting Krishna's name. That Vijayabhasa, that's what they do. The Vijayabhasa, they chant Krishna's name 24 hours a day. So we have to follow them that way, the Vijayabhasis. Okay, another point? Yeah.
Thank you for the wonderful explanation. Just I want more clarification on tat-paraḥ and jñāni.
Mm-hmm.
What is the difference between these two, and which one can be more helpful in our achievement of goal?
Yes, jñāni means somebody who is in knowledge is a jñāni, who knows knowledge, who has knowledge, is a jñāni. And then the realization of that knowledge, because there's a difference between knowledge and to totally realized state, which is to be self-realized, a self-realized person, a wise person who knows. So that's the difference. One is a wise who actually realizes the knowledge, and one is simply who have knowledge, a jñāni. So Krishna told us, want us to not just to be a jñāni, but to actually be a tat-paraḥ who can see. Seeing the point of seeing, being a dashi, a tat-paraḥ, that's a point of realized knowledge. That's actually self-realization. So Krishna is telling Arjuna that a tat-paraḥ, jñāni and tat-paraḥ. Tata means person who's in knowledge but also realize the knowledge. Is a realized person who is seeing God. Who is seeing God. That's a realized person. For example, now I may be saying something out of knowledge because I've cultivated this for a long time. So I'm saying something. But it doesn't mean that I've realized. It doesn't mean that I can see Krishna dancing face to face. It means I'm still cultivating process of devotional service. So it's a two different thing. To realize knowledge and they actually have knowledge. It's a two different thing. So we have to come to that point of having actually realized knowledge. Be able to see God face to face. Is that understandable?
So it amounts to that, as the example of university you told just now, explained that in the university there is education of Bhagavad Gita and all spiritual things, but
Yeah.
they don't have faith in that. That's a dry knowledge.
Yeah, it's just a dry knowledge. Whatever they say, just two-state understanding.
They are just jñāni.
Again, they're just some dry, mundane. It benefits no one. So they can never make anyone a devotee of Krishna. Nobody go to university to learn Bhagavad Gita and become a devotee. No, you can't. Because it's not meant for that. Otherwise, if you see so many PhDs, they would all be devotees by now. People are getting PhDs in this knowledge, but they're not devotees. Their life is not changed. Okay, thank you very much. Jai Śrīla Prabhupada ki. Go